Today's video is a collection of useful typography settings that I use to really improve my experience in Adobe Illustrator. Now if you know some of these tips today, you can always skip to the next point by viewing the progress bar at the bottom of the video. So the first tip today is a solution to something that's probably annoyed most of you guys, and that is when you have various different text boxes and you might want to say, for example, select the bottom text here. Now I can't actually select it because the upper text box is completely dwarfing the smaller one. But if you come into the Illustrator preference settings and into the type menu, you can then turn on the setting that allows you to select type only by the path itself. So now you can grab your text by selecting the baseline of that text really easily. Now I have mentioned about optical kerning before, but do you actually fully understand how helpful it can be to you in Illustrator? Now I'd like to say firstly that if you are designing a logo or maybe something with headings, probably it's wise to manually kern your text or your typography. But for a quick solution, let's look at this example here. This word has standard default kerning, and as you can see, the spacing between each character isn't that visually appealing at all. But if I switch it over to optical kerning, Illustrator is going to use an algorithm to make adjustments. And for those of you with a good eye for type, you will notice a positive change in the kerning here. Let's have two of the same words and then set them on the screen together so we can properly see the distinction between the two different kerning settings. So yeah, for a quick and an easy way to make the kerning for your text ideal, think about using the optical kerning solution in the character window. The third tip today is an update on a tip in a previous video. I actually forgot to mention something pretty important. So let's quickly first remind ourselves of what that tip was. When you open up Illustrator, you are greeted with Myriad as the font choice and also other various settings. These are the default settings. I can come and change those settings, such as the font, the kerning style, size, and so forth, in the character styles menu. This, however, is not going to remain in place or as a choice once we close Illustrator and then open it up again. And that is pretty annoying, and I don't know why Adobe hasn't addressed that. But there is a workaround, and that is to apply your settings and then save this as a document template. So once you've got the settings sorted out, go ahead and save your file as a document template somewhere on your computer. You might want to choose a title that is the font choice, and so for example I would choose Noir. And so then once you have that as a default setting, just create a new document from a template and then navigate to the relevant file template. Also, all of the other settings on your document will also be restored once you open this template. So here is a quick typography tip that not everybody makes use of, and it's a quick change in the casing. So sometimes we have a lot of text, but we want to change it to uppercase, lowercase, or maybe even title case. And you can find that setting in the type drop-down menu, and it is specifically good for modifying titles, headings, and subheadings. And you can see it on screen right now. This is just one of those settings that's there and not many people make use of it. Now I'm sure most of us here know about the Type on the Path tool, and that can be found, of course, under the Type tool. This will allow you to apply text onto a vector path within Illustrator, and it's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. However, there isn't much room for adjustments here, but that is until you open up the Type on a Path window, which is going to offer you some pretty cool settings. Now you can flip the text so it appears below but not upside down, and you can also choose settings that arrange the text in different styles around the path. And also a very handy function here is that we can determine where the text sits in relation to the path itself, so above, below, and so forth. So there were some pretty neat and useful typography settings for Adobe Illustrator. If you want to keep learning essential skills as a graphic designer, do subscribe to my channel for weekly graphic design content, and of course click a video on screen after this one. Have a great day, and until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.